Yo man, as you can see by the title, being disciplined is super easy. Watch now. Y.A.D. Stick to the end. We complicate discipline a lot, but discipline is super easy. You've been making it complicated. It's not even that complicated. Stick to the end of this video. Being disciplined, it doesn't mean you're forcing yourself to do something, but it just means you have a connection with a certain activity or project. That's where discipline comes from. You cannot discipline, someone cannot be disciplined on playing soccer, but they like basketball or they are mostly passionate with basketball. It won't make sense. It has to connect. That's where discipline comes from. Of these people in the social media space, they don't really explain it in depth. That where does actually discipline come from? They only tell you that there's motivation and discipline. Motivation is a flame that ends, in a certain span of time, but discipline is a flame that keeps going on over and over. Yeah, that's a good concept, but they don't really break it down like that. Where does that come from? Which seed has that sprout from? Everything is in depth. It has to make sense from the surface. They only explain be disciplined, not motivation, be disciplined. But a lot of people are still confused. Discipline only comes when you connect with that certain project or activity. You cannot be disciplined in anything you are not connected on. Whatever you're doing in life, whatever you want to pursue, it has to have a connection within it. You can describe the connection you have with that certain project or goal, but there has to be a connection. Once you have a connection with that certain activity, that's where discipline can come. Discipline is not a concept that you have to be taught, you have to go step by step. Nah. It's a connection. Speaking more about being disciplined and actually focusing on your project, I have compiled a guide, a simplest guide for everyone to read. You will find it on Amazon down in the description. It's suitable for anyone, students, entrepreneurs, self-employed, whatever project you're on, it relates with everyone. You don't want to miss this opportunity. Tap in. It will show you ways on how to actually connect with you being productive and focused on every goal you do. I'm not directing you like how these social media gurus say that if you don't write these steps or if you don't do it like this, you'll never reach there. There's no such thing as that. We have different paths of making it, to our destination. There's no certain path. There's no such thing as that. But go read the book. Down in the description, you'll find it on Amazon. Purchase yourself a book. You won't regret it. You remember back as a kid, when you used to play sports, you used to love that certain sport. You used to have discipline back then, but you didn't understand the concept. You were not aware enough. You remember how emotionally connected you were with that sport or activity you're doing back then. It's the same thing. It's not complicated. You just had an emotional connection and deeper purpose behind what you're doing. You loved it. You had passion. You like everything about it just sparked something within you. It's the same thing as discipline. But as we grow in life, we just tend to, detach ourselves from that concept and we start acting confused. Like, what's discipline? You've been having discipline since. You're just not aware. You even used to set a timer on certain, cartoons, movies, whatever you used to watch. You used to place your toys at a certain place. You knew when you come back from school, you take that and use that to play. You were used to it. You had a meaning behind on what you do. It's the same thing as discipline. Stop complicating it. It's the very same thing. Start seeing your goals like that. Start seeing your project like that. We just tend to confuse ourselves because now we are at a higher level than we were before. We used to play toys back then, nothing crazy. But now it's like we're building legacies. Now we're growing something. We feel the tension. There's no tension. It's the same thing. Discipline is super easy, YK. You've been complicating it all along. These social media people make it seem like it's some glorious ball in the sky that's blooming or something. Some angelic creature flowing in the sky. Discipline is power. It's not that complicated. The reason why you're not disciplined, you lack the meaningful, on what you're doing. Like the deeper meaning on what you're focusing on. You lack, the joy in what you're doing, the excitement of what you're doing. It's simple as that. Last but not least, the emotional connection. I mentioned it in my book, down in the description, that being disciplined, you have to take whatever you're doing seriously. And for you to take whatever you're doing seriously, it has to have an emotional connection, a meaningful purpose behind it. It's simple. It's not complicated either. When you see that you're slacking off on what you're doing, you lack emotional connection or the meaning behind it. But if you have a solid reason, a solid internal reason on why you want to focus on this, I'm telling you, you'll be super disciplined. You won't just be disciplined, like super disciplined. Because honestly speaking, as time goes by, discipline is no longer discipline. It eventually becomes a lifestyle. The most important point too is that you view it as something that's, a mission. You view your projects or goals as something that's like, something that I have to conquer. Stop viewing it like that. Once you view it like that, that's where you kind of give tension, behind it. Between you and your projects, inside of you, there will be tension. Between, the two activities, there will be tension. And we don't want tension when it comes to discipline. Because tension is the blockage of, being active on your goals or projects. You should start seeing it as a lifestyle. Like, I have to do this. Once you start doing it like that, I'm telling you, this might be even the last video you'd ever watch about discipline. Stop scrolling and, proving it to yourself like, I just want to be more disciplined. I just want to be more. Stop scrolling and trying to find the deepest meaning of discipline. And nah, it's simple. Emotional connection and a deeper purpose behind it. It's simple as that. Being disciplined is not a temporary moment, but it's having a deeper meaning and a connection with the project that you're focusing on.